whenever you're thinking about metabolism or you want to explain it to someone, it actually gives you just the basic black and white facts. We've actually gone through a bit of the literature, so it's a really useful article. But you tell me, what is metabolism? What do you know about metabolism?
It's either fast or slow.
Yeah. Be fast or slow, so some people can be more greyhound, some people, yeah, be slow. Yep. Okay, so what is metabolism?
Breaking down.
Yeah, it's the rate at which your body burns calories. Now, I'm old, I say calories, or you can say kilojoules. So it's the rate at which your body burns calories. Now, that's what we used to think it was, just that. But it's much more than that. There's actually a lot of science behind it. It's about all the chemical reactions in your body that actually helps with your metabolism. So there are 4 parts to it that I thought I'd teach you today. And like I said, it's in the article. To help you understand, and maybe at this point now, like you, Andy, you might be at this plateau going, I'm doing everything well, is there anything I need to do in order to fine-tune my metabolism? Is there anything else I need to know? So there are 4 parts to it, but I'd like to ask you, what do you know kills or doesn't help metabolism? What do you know about anything about metabolism?
Yo-yo dieting.
Well, yeah, yo-yo dieting. So tell me about yo-yo dieting, so sort of restriction of food, then giving up, restriction of food, losing weight, giving up. Well, what happens to your metabolism there?
It slows down.
It slows down, yeah. So number 1, there are 4 parts to this. So number 1 is eating for energy burning. So what doesn't burn energy is, like you're saying, with yo-yo dieting. So it actually can really slow down your metabolism. And so I've seen many people in my practice who say, look, I used to do a lot of those restrictive dieting, and now I'm actually eating hardly anything, and I'm still not losing the weight. So, yeah, restricting your eating, it's kind of like turning the tap off your metabolism. It really doesn't help. So, the first one is eating to burn energy, and it goes back to some of the macronutrients, because a lot of people say to me, what foods help to burn energy? What foods help to burn metabolism? So, protein is the one that has, and I'll write it down, is the one that actually uses more calories to burn, to break down. So protein is actually a really good macronutrient for your metabolism. And so what it has is the highest, I'll hold it up, I'll do the acronym first, TEF. Thermal effective feeding. So what that means is, this is your protein. So protein has the highest TEF, thermal effective feeding, and what that means is it's actually the thermal effect of feeding is the energy cost of absorbing and digesting food. So protein is one that actually burns at a higher rate compared to fat, carbohydrate and alcohol. So we all know the importance of protein, but what happens if we go a little bit too mad with protein? Let's go back to basic science of energy out. Yeah, protein's going to really, it's got the highest thermal effective feeding, I'm going to have more protein, more protein, what happens?
Get stored.
Get stored as fat, yes, that's right. So, but protein's really important, and we know that, particularly with the meal plans that you've been looking at, you know, whether you've been choosing some of the recipes, there's always protein in it at both lunch and dinner, and there's some protein ideas also at breakfast time. So that's just one tip. That's certainly to help burn energy. Protein's really important. Who's heard about chili and green tea and things like that about being good for metabolism? Yeah, I was reading into that. What do you reckon that about chili?
I have to eat about 1,000.
That's right, Joy. I love it. It's funny, you just read all these research papers, all very technical, and basically you have to eat a hell of a lot of it for it to work. So chili, yes, there's actually a property that helps with your metabolism, but even for the real chili lovers, it would be a real challenge. So eating chili you could still use because it probably will slow down how much you eat. It's like when you go out for an Indian meal and you think that's not enough because it's so spicy, then you give you a small amount. So maybe use it to watch your portions. Green tea, yes, green tea actually can help with your metabolism. And what they say is there's an antioxidant in green tea called catechins, and it says that you need at least 4 to 5 cups for it to be effective. So if you hate green tea, and I like Cherie's, I'm going to pull it against Cherie. Cherie's face.
4 or 5 cups.
Yeah, so we're just got to be careful. So quite often supplements and all these things, natural properties, will be yes, have chili or have cinnamon to cure diabetes and have green tea to burn off that fat. It's not entirely true, but who's drunk green tea and has it had any benefits for you in relation to maybe your appetite or whatever? Who drinks green tea? Yeah. What benefits do you notice when you do drink green tea?
It's like being to tea.
Yeah.
Because I like tea. I find, go on with green tea. I'm not looking for as much food. Like, to have a cup of tea, I think about food. But green tea just doesn't seem to do that.
So it really satisfies you. Anyone else find that?
Yes.
Yeah, you do find it. Yeah, so it's got quite a bitter sort of taste, and it really can kill sort of the appetite. Yeah. And sometimes people say it doesn't really go with a biscuit or a cup of tea or a biscuit. Yeah. So it doesn't mean you don't drink green tea. It's not going to be one of the ones or the secret to fat burning.
Climbing's making green tea and lemon, and I like it a lot more.
I do.
That wouldn't be in the best or
No, you do. Really good. Green tea with lemon and green tea with peppermint, which is really good too. Yeah.
White tea's about the same, isn't it?
Yeah, good question.
So I strip with white tea.
Yep. Look, all tea, I mean, it used to be just drink green tea, that's only when you get antioxidants, and it's kind of like red wine and white wine. We now know with evidence that green tea, black tea, white tea all have antioxidants. Now, green tea has a lot, but still your other teas still have some antioxidants, which are really good for you. So you see leptin.
I thought white tea had the most because it was the lead, like from the younger plant, and being less processed as well.
Potentially, so if you're looking at antioxidant value, potentially it would, if it's more from the younger plant. But overall, all tea is really good for you, so part of the diet is really important. But it's the same with red wine and white wine. Red wine is because of the skins that make it red, and that has more antioxidants, but doesn't mean that white wine doesn't. So that's number one. That's really looking at the basics of, burning of food. So we know protein is really important. The second one is all about appetite. So tell me a little bit about what you know about appetite.
Always got one.
Always got one? Because how does it relate to our metabolism? Have a think about it.
It keeps it operating.
Absolutely, it keeps it operating. So we know with what you said before this with yo-yo dieting, how often, when people try to lose weight may not actually listen to their appetite if they're really hungry or if you're really full. So what you want to do is eat to maximise or regulate your appetite. So that's number two. So that's what you want to look for. So the basics of it is, obviously, and as we've all been told, is to eat when you're hungry and finish when you're full. Now that sounds lovely and looks good on paper, but I think we've been, trained as a young child to eat. There's lots of social occasions, or finish everything on your plate. Have you seen that ad, the Terry White chemist ad? And there's a guy in the fridge and it's got the mother behind going, finish what's on your plate. Yeah, it's funny. So who finds that difficult to actually stop and eat when you're hungry and finish when you're full? It's a hard thing to master. So for some people, they're actually looking at part of the challenge is maybe I might get in tune with my hunger, and that could be one thing you can do. So in terms of your appetite, also there are some hormones that regulate your appetite. So what you want to do is rewire your appetite. So when I've looked through a lot of the research, it keeps coming back to the importance of rewiring, this is in layman's terms, your appetite. So what that means is you do have some hormones that do regulate the feeling of satiety, the feeling of fullness, and therefore your appetite. So the first one is actually called, I'll give you the acronym, it's quite a long one, it's in the article, is CCK, because it's cholecystokinin. So that's a gut hormone, so it's a hormone in the gut, right? And so this hormone is part of your appetite as well. And what happens is, when you're eating, this hormone will be released about 10 to 20 minutes after you started to eat. So how do you think that relates to things? So if this hormone...
The speed